What is up, double shifters? Today I'm going to bring you a different type of video. I'm going to be previewing the second round of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. Before I get into this, I'm going to explain how I'm going to do this. First, I'll highlight the matchup, and then I'll go over the X factor for each team that could lead to them winning the series, and then last, I'll give a prediction. So the first matchup we have is the Toronto Maple Leafs playing the Florida Panthers. Now for the Leafs, I think the X factor that will lead to a series win for them is if the core four can show up again. In years past, the major issue was the star players not playing to the top of their capabilities. But in the first round, that was not the case. William Nylander led the team with 9 points, Mitch Marner was next with 8 points, Matthews had 7 points, and John Tavares was fourth on the team with 5 points in 6 games played. That is exactly how the Leafs need to perform in round 2 if they want to take the dub. The Stars have heard it over and over again. They just need to stop crying and keep playing, as William Nylander once said. And so far, they've been doing that. Mitch Marner does have only 1 goal, but he has a whopping 7 assists in 6 games played. And perhaps you'd like to see Matthews score more than 2 goals in this next series. But if those 4 guys can show up again, I think the Leafs are going to be taking this one. Well, unless Matthew Tkachuk has something to say about it. And I think that is the Panthers' X factor. Yes, they have a bunch of other additions to their team, like Brad Marchand and Seth Jones, who both played well in the first round. But if Matthew Tkachuk can be a force both offensively and physically, then the Panthers take this series. Now, I guess another X factor for both teams is always going to be the goalies. If Stolarz can stand on his head the same way he did in round 1, then I think the Leafs get the edge there as well. Bobrovsky has been solid, but Stolarz so far has been the solution to one of the key problems the Leafs have faced over the past couple of decades. And that brings us to my final prediction. I think the Leafs take this series in 7 games. The series is going to be really, really good. I think these second round matchups are going to be a lot closer than the first round matchups in the Eastern Conference especially. And speaking of, our next matchup is the Washington Capitals playing the Carolina Hurricanes. If the Caps want to take this series, their X factor is going to be, can their special teams actually show up? It is no rumor that both the power play and the penalty kill were pretty bad for the Capitals in their first round series against the Canadiens. For the majority of that series, the PK was missing 2 of their top penalty killers, defenseman Martin Ferravari, who is out for the rest of the postseason, and forward Alexi Protas, who just came back to play in Game 5, but in a limited role. While no Martin Ferravari will hurt this Capitals team, getting back Alexi Protas will be a big bump for the PK and 5-on-5 play. This Capitals team is so deep, and the first line has been performing so well that they've stuck Protas on the 4th line for the time being, which is just a bit bonkers when you remember that he's a 30-goal scorer in the NHL, and with no power play time. If my memory serves me correct, he has more 5-on-5 points than McDavid this year, and he's going to be starting out the series on the 4th line. The Capitals' depth is going to be hard to beat, and I think the only way the Canes can match up is if Freddie Anderson can do unspeakable things in net. And to do that, he has to first be healthy. Things are looking better on that front for the Canes. It's looking like he may be able to start Game 1, but we're going to need to see the best iteration of Freddie Anderson we've ever seen in order for them to take down this extremely deep Capitals team. And all that being said, my final prediction, and I am a Caps fan, so maybe it's biased, but I think the Caps are going to take this series in 6 games. Now moving on to the Western Conference, we have our first matchup, the Vegas Golden Knights playing the Edmonton Oilers. We are finally getting an Eichel-McDavid postseason head-to-head matchup, the first and second overall picks in the 2015 NHL entry draft. And I think this series pretty much lies on their backs as well. If Eichel can show up the same way he did for Vegas in that closing game against the Wild, Eichel has shown he can be a dominant player, and his regular season performance is just indicative of that. For the Oilers, I think their X factor isn't really Connor McDavid, because Connor McDavid has shown that he's going to show up no matter what. Connor McDavid may be the only player to show up, and sometimes it has been enough for the Oilers team. But for the Oilers to really take down the strong Golden Knights team, I think the entire team needs to show up, and that's why I'm putting down the Oilers' depth as their X factor. If Connor McDavid can get some help, then this series is the Oilers to lose. But for the past 5+ years, depth and Oilers have not been said in the same sentence, and that has always been a question mark for them, as well as their goaltending. Whoever's in net for the Oilers, whether it be Stuart Skinner or Calvin Pickard, they're going to have to stand on their head. And like many Leafs teams in the past, goaltending has been a soft point for these Oilers, and they really don't currently have a fix for it. All that said, I think it's hard to bet against the Golden Knights. I have them taking this series in 6 games. And on to our last conference semifinal matchup. We have the Dallas Stars playing the Winnipeg Jets. I'm going to say it out front, to be honest, Game 7 between the Jets and the Blues was just for the right to lose to the Stars. I think there's no chance the Stars are losing this series. I will bet the entire bank on it. And I know I kind of broke the format, but just what we've seen from the Stars in their 7-game series versus what we've seen from the Jets and the Blues in their 7-game series, it is the Stars series to lose. And their X factor is their pillar in net, Jake Ottinger. If Ottinger can do odd things, then I think this is an easy win for the Dallas Stars. But if Connor Hellebuyck can finally be the Vezina-winning goalie that he is in the playoffs, then they just have a chance. But in all honesty, I don't think it's going to be close. I think the Stars are just a much better team, more skilled all around, and at some point in the series, they'll probably be getting back Heiskanen. I just don't see a situation in which the Stars lose this series. That's why I have the Stars taking this series in 5 games. Well, those are my predictions, guys. Let me know if you agree with them or if you disagree in the comments down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to see more content like this and more hockey-related content in general. I'm Joel, you're watching Double Shift, and I'll see you soon. Bye.